Do you like it? Yeah? Good? Okay, good.
This one is so funny.
Yeah?
I love
Like it? Yeah.
The image, as you can see over there, of this year's winner, of a young, tired, but proud woman, surrounded by the violent Turkish police, struck me. Her courage, there she is, standing up for herself and for us, against hatred and brutality.
Nou, we staan hier voor de winnende foto. Waarom is deze foto het geworden?
Nou, deze foto bevat eigenlijk alles waar het dit jaar met Pride Photo om gaat. Kijk maar eens eventjes, dat meisje staat even uit te rusten. Dit is Turkije, Istanbul. Een verboden gay pride die uiteindelijk toch is doorgegaan omdat mensen zo stoer waren en vooruitstrevend om zich toch te verzamelen. En een enorme politiemacht met traangas en alles wat je kan bedenken wordt erop afgestuurd. De reden was dat die Pride niet kon doorgaan, want dat was voor jullie onze veiligheid. Dus daarom mag die niet doorgaan. Uiteindelijk heeft dat natuurlijk te maken met de enorme conservatieve wind die waait in Turkije. Dus ze werden wel in de pan gehakt. En dit meisje, kijk eens eventjes nader, hoe ze eruit ziet. Met Pride kousen aan. Een vrij gevochten vrouw. Staat een sigaret te roken. Kijk naar die enorme bom aan testosteron en conservatisme dat voorbij komt trekken. Maar ze staat er gewoon wel. En volgens mij is dit een symbolische foto voor eigenlijk alles wat hier hangt. En zeker ook wat Europa en de rest van de wereld nodig heeft.
This picture will stay in our minds. It will travel the world. And everyone looking at this picture sees that a young demonstrator, in all her simplicity and vulnerability, is stronger than the complete police force. The picture also brings back personal memories. This year I was in Istanbul with a delegation from Amsterdam to support the Turkish LGBTI community. And when the gay parade was called off for security reasons, I remember we wanted to be present at the harshly called press conference. But you could hardly manage, and we never really managed to reach the press conference because of the police was on the spot to chase the people there with tear gas and rubber bullets. I will not lightly forget the police toughness, but neither the fearless guts of the LGBTI community in Istanbul. To be yourself and to be allowed to be yourself takes a lot of courage. Amsterdam is proud to be able to host and co-fund the Pride Photo Award again this year. A photo exhibition such as this one belongs here.
How does it feel to win?
I'm happy because I'm honored to my works published in the communities, and it shows me that I'm on the right way because I'm a photojournalist and trying to be the voice of the people. It shows me that I make the people's voice louder. I can see on the picture the pressure, the violence, because in Turkey there's a big hate, big anger to homosexual people, to transgender people.
No, I'm French.
You were on holiday?
No, I was working on the Syrian refugees, so it's like a different story. In the morning I had some free time and I was walking and I found these guys. So I was like, I'm gonna do two things.
And what are these guys? Are they running a fitness center?
No, it's just like, so you have this, it's a beach, they call that a beach, right? I mean, there's no sand, but it's just a beach and they just like to suntan and like, you know, work out and like they do their own thing, you know, it's not like no regulation or whatever, you know.
And what do they do in regular life?
I think that guy was a real estate agent, that guy was students, there are two students there. That guy, I think, is a professional bodybuilder, I think, that guy. Yeah. So
that's a beautiful picture.
Yeah. This guy is actually, so that's the main character, that guy right there, Abu Kador. He's like the chief.
Oh, really?
Right? He's the chief of the beach.
Ah.
And when I got there, he was like starting to pose for me. He was like, like this. I'm like, okay. So, I keep going, and then he was like, you come every day now and you take pictures for us. Like, yeah.
Of course, they like to show their bodies.
Yeah. When the Pride Photo Award selected my work, they asked me like, can you confirm if they are gay or not? And I said no, because like I never asked them, and I don't really care.
No.
It's just the way it looks, and you make your own opinion. In the morning, I would shoot them and hang out with them, and in the afternoon, I would be in refugee camps. So it's like a very schizophrenic experience, but at the same time, it was like, it felt good for me to hang out with these guys, and it alleviate a little bit of what I would sing, in the afternoon, and with the refugees, total different topics. So yeah, it felt good to actually like hang out with these guys.
This year, other than other years.
So congratulations, you're one of the winners. Could you tell us something about your portrait?
It's called You As Me. It's basically like a conversation I'm having with a spectator, wherein I ask you to be me in front of the camera, and then it gets more interesting because it's technically a series of paradoxical self-portraits. But then again, over time, you kind of flesh out how much really is it about you that's you, or the quotient of the me that is in the me. So it's like an exchange between people, and it gets more interesting as I include more people portraying me in front of the camera. Originally, it just started with the people close to me or the people I like, but then I figured out that over time it has to also include people who revolt you in a certain way. It gives that other ironic twist to the project, so I think it gets more interesting that way.
Did you learn things about yourself from it?
Yes, at the beginning I was just trying to get rid of myself in the process. When you're self-obsessed in your youth and then you kind of want to destroy that old self. And then what's surprising at the end is that the more portraits I took, the more I learned something about myself.
So how does it fit into the theme of the Pride Photo Award? Is it that we're all actually the same?
There's a whole wind of gender issues happening. Like one of my friends here, he's actually in the transition and becoming more feminine. So this was a time when he was actually transitioning, so that when he actually first saw the photo in print, he was actually weeping. And now we refer to him as a she. So it gets interesting because you kind of include people with different degrees of masculinities and femininities, and then the in-betweens. And that was something I was always interested in. So I would also include people who are like lesbians, or who are, those certain degrees of queerness that always provide something interesting.
If there was one message that you're trying to send out with your pictures, what would it be?
Well, it's basically about being at ease with yourself in the company of others. And also, I guess, despite the differences, there's so much that brings us all together.
Could you tell us something about your work?
So my project, it's called Polarity, and it's about androgyny. So I found androgynous people, and I wanted to split it into gender to show how the femininity and masculinity, those two wide polarities, how they are scrambled in one person together.
What is the message that you are trying to say to the people with your pictures?
Androgynous people, they kind of do not fit in those typical boxes. So they are kind of all the time in between. So that's why it was very important to me to show this diversity in one portrait, because the gender stereotypes and norms, they are too stiff in the modern society, and I think it's very important to push the borders a little bit, because it's just too black and white, and it's not always like this, because every person, they are not strictly feminine or strictly masculine. Education is very important, and from here it can be spread all over the world. I think it's very important for everybody to get the sense of normality of diversity.
Ja, je noemt het zelf al, een heel erg politiek beladen onderwerp.
Ja.
Zou deze foto niet ook gewoon prima in de World Press foto passen?
Absoluut. En het staat de World Press Photo vrij om die op te nemen. Maar wij zijn Pride Photo Award. En we hebben een andere contest, zoals je weet. We letten heel erg op seksuele identiteit, gender, diversiteit. Dus dan krijg je ook ander werk opgestuurd. Ook wel zo leuk natuurlijk, want je bent een beetje uit de waan van de dag, de grote nieuwsgebeurtenis. Hoewel ik dit echt een grote nieuwsgebeurtenis vind. Maar misschien dat we steeds dichter bij elkaar in de buurt komen. En dat zegt ook wel iets over de kwaliteit van Pride Photo Award. Als ik zo vrij mag zijn.
This is a series about Melanie and her family. This is a series I've done 1 year ago in Brittany, in a little village in the countryside. And it's about Melanie with a transgender, male to female. And Melanie is highly supported by her family, her father, her stepmother, her sister, her father, and the dog. And she was supposed to be here today, but she had an appointment with the French administration today to legally change the civil statement. Many years ago in France, there was some contestation against the gay marriage, and it was a very violent time for gay people and LGBT community in France because there were a very bad reaction from some people against this law, and it was very hurting for LGBT community. So I decided to do this series to show, to express my feelings about these events, and to show different family who could be considered as different, but who was just like the other families when there is love, protection, tenderness.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the story and the importance of Pride Photo Award. It's art, it's photography, it's sexuality, it's gender, it's debate, it's discussion, it's human beings longing for life, longing for loving their own life. So thank you, photographers, for bringing that into our lives.